Great Spirit, Namaste. Saints and sages of all times and all places, Namaste. O ye pathmakers of old, guardians of the air, the earth, the fire, the water, the ether, Namaste. Ancestors, ancestors, ancestors of all of our bloodlines, we call unto thee. Namaste. Most beloved and precious Ishtadevata, in all of thy names and all of thy forms and in thy manifestations all. Most beloved Nirguna Brahman, without manifestation, Namaste. Bless us, lift us, may we see that which needs to be seen, hear that which needs to be heard, with our inner ear, our inner eye. May our communication be clear and uplifting, and may each of us, through our practice today, become an ever greater blessing unto all sentient life. Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Welcome. Welcome to my heart. Welcome to our Sunday Sangha. Welcome to my heart on this new moon in Virgo. Virgo, the sign of the maiden. Virgo, the sign of critical thinking, analytical thinking. Virgo, the sign of detail orientation. Virgo, the sign of artistic expression in the greatest detail. Virgo, the sign of self-criticism. Far more than criticism, it is a sign of self-criticism. We must let go of that and attune to that which is higher. Once upon a yogi time, there was a little boy. He was about 4 years old, 5 years old. And he wanted a cookie. He was old enough to be smart. Mommy, I want a cookie. No. Mommy, I want a cookie. No, we're going to have dinner soon. Mommy, I want a cookie. Tugging on Mommy's shirt. Mommy, I want a cookie. As Mommy's cooking. Mommy, I want a cookie. Mommy, I want a cookie. Mommy, I want a cookie. Mommy, 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 I want a cookie. Mommy says, no, no, no. Mommy, I want a cookie. And Mommy reaches down with her hand and she slaps him gently on the butt. Gently, not any, just a little pat on the butt. No. Oh. Big tears coming down the eyes. Big tears coming down the eyes. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Big tears coming down the eyes. Mommy, I want a cookie. Okay, sweetheart. Here's the cookie. Now stop crying. Just one. Here's the cookie. And the little boy walks away with the cookie, a smile on his face, and he thinks, aha, aha. What made her give me the cookie? Japa, japa, repetition, mantra. They've been teaching me about mantra, I know. Repetition, repetition, repetition. I knew that if I kept saying it enough, she'd give me the cookie. Something else, though, something else. Besides the repetition, she got irritated. Oh, I have to repeat it enough that there's irritation. There's like a sandpaper, right? What else changed? Oh, my voice changed. Yeah, my voice changed. I went from, Mommy, I want a cookie, to, Mommy, I want a cookie, to, Mommy, I want a cookie. Well, was I hurt by it? No, she just slapped my butt a little bit. But I got what I wanted. Why did she give me the cookie? The little boy's thinking, why? Why did she give me the cookie? Well, she was busy. I was asking her when she was busy. She was tired. I was asking her when she was tired. But why did she give me the cookie? Oh, he says, because a good mama would never hit her baby gently on the butt. That's spanking. My mom has always said, you never do that. I think she was feeling guilty. And then he sits down and he reflects on that. I wonder what you can get people to do. He thinks in his 5-year-old mind, if you make them feel this guilty, what will they do when they feel that way? And he observes and he watches and he observes and he watches as he goes through his life. And he sees again and again and again and again that if you make someone behave or say or think something that is not congruent with their idea of who and what they should be, they feel guilty. Not always, but a lot of times they feel guilty. And then they will do what you ask them to do. You can manipulate them into doing what you ask them to do. Now, I was talking to one of my disciples about this about 6-8 weeks ago, and she says, I don't think so. I don't know about this manipulation. I think you're wrong. And I said, well, okay, maybe I am wrong. But what happens when we get put in a situation, you and I get put in a situation in which there are expectations that we're not even conscious of, expectations about our roles, expectations about what we should be doing, how we should be doing it. What happens? Oh. She says, I guess I will behave in certain ways because I think that that's how a person who is a good mother is going to behave. A person who's a good father is going to behave. A person who's a good sister or a good employee is going to behave. And what happens then, my beloved, is all of the messages of your family, all the messages of your culture, all the messages of your bloodlines, all of those mothers from before, the fathers from before that are living within you are sending you messages. Well, it gets a little confusing at times. It really does get confusing at times, but here's the problem. If you're manipulating other people, which we all are, we all do. The little boy with the cookie is you and me. Spiritually, we must work hard to break that habit, because that habit is simply another way of trying to get what you want in life. Instead of saying, please pass the salt and pepper, oh, this isn't really salty enough, or oh, I don't know if I really like this food. I haven't tasted it. The mother of one of my fellow disciples used to say, she'd say, I don't like anything that I haven't ever tasted. It was amazing that she managed to survive with that. It came late in her life, so she had tasted a lot. But what a thought. I don't like anything I haven't ever tasted. And many of us have that experience, have that thought form, that feeling. Now, here's the problem, really, the problem. You can say, well, the problem is I shouldn't be manipulating other people. That's true. That's absolutely true. The problem is I shouldn't let other people manipulate me. That's true. That's absolutely true. But what happens when the habits of your mind that were started when you were 4 and 5 and that you brought into this life from your last incarnation, what happens when those habits repeat themselves and you start manipulating your own reality, your own sense of who and what you are? When you start believing the criticism of others, when you start believing the awful things that others think or say or do to you. Now you may say, well, other people haven't been cruel to me. I had someone say to me the other day, and really I had been meditating for today, and I was having a conversation, and the person said to me, the person's in their mid-70s, and they said, I was thinking the other day about working with my dad, and I was trying to measure something, and I was fumbling. And my father turned to me and said, what are you, stupid? You can't even measure something? Now the fellow said, I knew my dad knew I wasn't stupid. But all these years later, I've wondered, why did he say I was stupid? Why did he say that to me? And so a kernel of doubt arises in the person's mind, who is has quite an intellect. A kernel of doubt rises in the mind, saying, well, I wonder if he thought for that moment that I was stupid. And then, if the person fumbles when they're trying to measure something over the next 60 years, they think, Now, I'm going to ask you something, and you're not going to tell anybody the answer to this, okay? Nobody. Except maybe your Ishtadevata. Nobody but God. Have you ever had a thought of self-criticism? Have you ever thought that you were supposed to suffer in life? I have had people come to me who say, I have to look at every painful thing that happens in my life, that ever happened in my life, or I'm never going to get well. Oh, that's not the yogic way. That's some people would say that's insanity. It's living again and feeding again the same problem you had. It's not allowing you to do anything different. It's like the little boy who says, give me the cookie, give me the cookie, give me the cookie, and whines and whines and whines and whines and whines until there's some terrible reaction. And so the key is to say, here's one of the practices to ask yourself. Last week, I suggested to you that for this past week, leading up to this new moon, you should write yourself a love letter every day and say to yourself all those wonderful things that you've always wanted to hear. It's what I ask you to do. So if you haven't done it yet, I'm saying it again. The window is here. All those things you wanted to hear. Oh, you're really beautiful. You're really kind. I really like the skill that you have at this. I see several of you on today who are artists, and I know you have beautiful artistic skill. Musicians among you, poets among you, business people among you, engineers among you, designers among you, mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers and children, divers. You have all these skills. What is it you've always wanted somebody to say to you? How is it you've always wanted to be accepted? Do it this week. Do it. If you haven't done it already, do it this week. If you have done it already, keep doing it. Because now the next step is this, and it's not terribly complicated, but it's not easy. Well, it can be easy, all right? What you need to do is reactivate, or if you've been using it, continue to activate that blue light of self-awareness that sits above your head, about 2.5, 3 feet, all right? It's the part of your consciousness that does nothing but observe, just observes, all right? No criticism, no judgment, no assessment, or, oh, yeah, I want that. No, just like a camera or a recording piece of equipment without the AI to clean it up, without the ability to crop it, but just to observe. And what you're going to be observing, we'll do a little bit of the practice, but you want to be able to take this part of your consciousness so that you practiced it sufficiently, my beloved, really, that it is constantly running here. It's constantly running here. So when a thought arises in the mind, you're aware the thought arises in the mind. You see it. May not like it, but you see it. All right? It is a transformative practice because it's going to allow you to do this practice I'm giving you this week. It allows you to do so much. When you do this, and you use that wonderful multi-varied, multi-meaningful phrase, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? You have a curiosity about what rises in your mind. I wonder what caused that thought to arise in my mind. I wonder what caused that thought to arise in my mind. Isn't that interesting? You want to cultivate this part of your consciousness so that it is continually running, and you continually see without judgment the thoughts that rise in your mind, and without judgment you can stop them. Because what I'm going to ask you to do after you activate that again this week is to say, well now, where am I self-critical? Nothing wrong with Tarka and looking at your personality. Tarka is deep reflection. And looking at your personality and saying, I need to change this XYZ. Nothing wrong with that. That's good. But what names do I call myself? How often do you say something and say, well, this is a stupid question, but that drives me crazy. I seem to attract students and disciples who have that phrase. I'm constantly having to say, start over again, please. Don't judge the question. Just ask the question. Don't say, there's probably too much salt on this salad, but please pass me the salt. Don't do that, right? You have to ask yourself, how often are you doing that? How often are you speaking and saying, you're undermining your thinking, you're undermining your action before you even begin to do anything? How often do you, get dressed and look at the mirror and think, as I did when I was 7, I think you've got a dent in the end of your nose. Decades later, I every once in a while look and say, I don't know, I don't think there is, but I don't know. I mean, I had the thought arise in my mind all those years later, all those years ago, and all these years later, every once in a while, I wonder, was that a real thought? That's not so harmful. What's harmful is when you start again and again and again in your thoughts, in your speech, and in your action, speaking critically about yourself, calling yourself names. Oh, and I'm not going to repeat the kind of names people call themselves. What's the flip side of that? Oh, I don't call myself down right now. I would never call myself names. No. I'm too good. I'm too important to do that. I won't call myself a name. I will call them names. I'm not going to call myself. I'm going to call them a name. We have that going on in the world today. And that's the other side of trying to make yourself important, is trying to diminish somebody else. It's not necessary. And it is harmful in terms of being able to see clearly. This is the goal, is to see your life, to see reality, to see the reality without the filters of self-criticism. Your Ishta Devata, your chosen form of the divine, is a doorway to your enlightenment. It's a doorway to your deep, deep contentment, santosha. The doorway to seeing beyond your personality, the doorway to seeing the Atma that you are. I'm going to say this again. I've been saying it for a number of weeks now, but I want to remind you. Your Ishtadevata for you is the highest embodiment of goodness, of compassion, of wisdom, of unselfish love, of non-judgmentalness, of the ultimate point of balance. It's not what anybody else says it is, all right? Your Ishta is not what anyone else says it is. It's not what any theology says. It is for you to have the intimate relationship with. Now, all these weeks we've been talking about communicating with your Ishtadevata. And someone came to me a few days ago and said, I have an Ishtadevata, I've been talking to my Ishtadevata, but my Ishta never, ever, ever, ever communicates with me. I said, what does your Ishta do? Just sits there and meditates. Just sits there and meditates. Never speaks, never sends me any messages, but just sits there and meditates. I said, well, what do you think the Ishta is saying to you? And the person said, I thought this was very wise. They said, well, I think maybe the Ishta is saying that if I would just shut up and meditate, that I'd had the answers to my questions. That's one way of looking at it. I would say the Ishta is saying to you, if you meditate, you will attune more deeply to me. And then I can communicate with you. Your Ishta does not speak in English, in Norwegian, in Dutch, in Italian, in Spanish, in Japanese, in Russian, in Thai, in Polish, in Czech, in Portuguese, in Sanskrit. No, it speaks in symbolism. And so we must go deep, deep, deep into our meditation to hear what our Ishtadevata is saying. The next practice, I'm repeating it so you have it. The practice for the week. If you haven't done your love letters to yourself, then do those. But the practice for this week is to do deep tarka. What have been the self-critical habits of my mind? Maybe I don't do it now. I did it a while ago. Maybe I still do it. And how does it show up? Does it show up in my thinking, my speaking, or my actions? Self-criticism is self-harm. What are you doing that's harming yourself? You know, I was talking to my guru one day, and we're talking about people who leave the earth through suicide, which is one way that sometimes people leave. And he said, well, you know, when you smoke cigarettes every day, you're committing suicide. You're trying to kill yourself. That's what it is, what he said. He didn't say you're committing suicide. He said you're working to kill yourself. It's just going to take you longer than if you took a gun to the body. You're overeating. You're trying to kill yourself. You're working and killing yourself. It's just going to take longer. What are you doing? Oh, here's a big one. Spending too much time enmeshed in violent movies, books, songs, communication with people. What are you doing? You're drawing that into your life. And so what you want to do this week is ask yourself, and I would say take a journal, but a private journal, where you can make the notes and nobody has to know what it is, or, it's not something that is going to be seen by others. And write down your habits, the habits of self-criticism. And then here's the toughie. How's that been working for you? Any improvement in your life? Does it make you feel good to be self-critical? I looked in the mirror this morning, as you do when you're getting ready, and I'll tell you something. I saw some wrinkles that weren't there a few years ago. They didn't just appear, but I saw them, And I said to my husband, oh my gosh, I have wrinkles, in here and here and here. And he says, oh yeah, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that great that you've lived this long, that you have wrinkles? Now, bless him, because I could feel myself going down that track. And I thought, no, so what? So what? Don't do that. Don't do that. So when you see that you've been like the mother who smacked her little boy on the butt, you've lost your temper, you've been like the father who said something mean to his son, you've lost your temper, you've spoken harshly to your loved ones, You've thought harsh thoughts about somebody walking down the street. You've made up stories about other people, even for fun. I mean, why do that? You're sending those thoughts out into the universe. When you see that, just look at it and say, now, all right, this is a form of self-harm. A form of self-criticism is harming you. What do you do to change that habit? And we're going to go into a meditation with your Ishtadevata. And in the meditation, you will have an opportunity to see your goodness, to see the light within you, and to know that when you see these things and you have these experiences, my beloved, you let them go. Don't repeat them. Don't repeat the pain. Don't stir up the pain. You know, it is one of the worst habits of the human mind to stir up the pain again and again and again and again. Don't do that. All right? But see it. So you're using this observer self and you're aware of it, and you can stop the behavior. Neti, neti, neti. Neti, neti, neti. For your earth life is the grounds for your spiritual discipline. It's your opportunity for your sadhana. What else is there? It's not just sitting down for an hour, half an hour, 10 minutes, 5 minutes every day. It's every moment, every breath that you breathe. You have an opportunity. Every thought that you think. Every word that comes out of your mouth in a less than kind tone. Isn't that wonderful? That's an opportunity for me. Zip it. Mona. Let me transform that thought into something more helpful. And so now we are going to meditate together. I should say one, I think, point of clarification. In Kriya Yoga, we have a practice that is called tarka. And this word means deep reflection. It does not mean self-criticism. It means, oh, I can see, yes, you know, my mind has that habit. Yeah, I think I better do something about that. And then 5 years later, 10 years later, 15 years later, you're still doing the same thing. Okay, maybe after the 100th time of saying, I think I better do something about that, the time gate will open and you will do it. That's not being self-critical. That is saying, well, is this habit helpful to where I'm going? If it's not, then I need to change it. All right? No name calling is included in tarka. Just the observer's self. Let us meditate. Namaste ji. Sit with your spine erect, if you will, please. Place your hands in the Om Mudra, the index finger and the thumb together. Placed upon your thighs, cupped upward. Turn the head to the left, exhaling twice. Bring the head back to the center and begin to watch the breath. Use the sipping breath. Draw the energy from the limbs to the trunk. From the trunk, draw the energy into the spinal column. From the base of the spine up to the sun center. Move that energy out in front of you as a golden ball of light. And now sweep that ball of light, expand it and sweep it around your body counterclockwise, encasing your entire body in golden light. And do this 2 more times. Keeping your attention focused at the sun center. Ascend, ascend upward, ascend above the building, above the continent, above the earth plane. Ascend as high as you are able. Reaching the grove of the meditators, enter this sacred high place and seek out your Ishtadevata. You and your Ishta and you. Gazing into the eyes of your Ishta. Smile at your Ishta. Smile as you smile to someone whom you love deeply and you're so very happy to see. And feel your Ishta smiling back. Pouring its radiant blessings upon you. The light of the sun shines forth from your Ishta, filling your entire being. The high place is filled with light. Focus your attention at the sun center. gazing at the Ishta. Your Ishta lifts the mirror of its heart to its sun center, and blazing light pours forth. See yourself in the mirror of the heart of your Ishta. Breathe in the light. Breathe in the blessings from your Ishta. Om Mani Padme Om. Feel the blessings pour down upon your crown center, that radiant light of the heart of your Ishta, blazing at you. Om Mani Padme Om. Om Mani Padme Om. Om Mani Padme Om. Om Mani Padme Om. as your Ishta pours forth its continual blessings upon you, as the mantra pours through every cell of your being. Feel your heart open and mirror back to your Ishta. Become one with your Ishta, allowing the heart of your Ishta to merge with your heart, the love of your Ishta to flow into your heart, the acceptance of your Ishta to flow into your being, that every cell of your being radiates Ananda, 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 da, da. Bowing down to your Ishta, grateful for its blessings. Take hold of the hand of your Ishta and ascend to the high place of prayer. We gather in a circle of the Sangha, each with our Ishtas, as we send forth our meditative prayer. O ye powers that be, thou knowest better than we that which is needed. As we chant this mantra, we ask that our blessings be merged with your blessings, and that all be given for the highest of good. For Mother Gaia, that she has everything that is needed, with our gratitude that our incarnation has been here. Let us chant the Om Shanti mantra. Feel the light pouring down upon Mother Gaia, you and your Ishta, each of us with our Ishta. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. For all of those beings living with water insecurity, we offer thee this pure spring water, along with our blessings and the blessings of all the powers that be. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May your thirst be quenched. For those living with food insecurity, we offer you this tree of fruit, ever blossoming, ever ready to fill your hunger. May your hunger be filled. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. For those living with shelter insecurity, we offer you this golden blanket of light that you might find the comfort you need, the security you need, the warmth or the coolness that you need, the shelter in all conditions of your life. May this light cover you and shelter you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. For those living with economic insecurity, we give you this gold coin which never decreases, that all of your needs be met. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O ye powers that be, we call upon thee at this moment to send forth your blessings with our blessings for all of those souls who are in conflict in the earth, for all of those beings that are at war with each other, those beings whose emotions have been seized. May the hurt be healed. May the karma be dissolved. May the hurt be healed. May the karma be dissolved. For all of those leaders who are causing chaos, who are manifesting chaos in the world, who are the leaders, the bringers of the karma of the current time. May the karma be softened for all. May light shine through and wisdom shine through for all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O ye powers that be, there are needs we have not expressed. Thou knowest what they are. Thou knowest how best that the karma be softened. As we send forth our blessings, our yoga siddhi through these mantra, through our concentrated prayer, may they be used in the most fruitful and for the highest good. And let us chant the Om Shanti mantra now. Let us chant it 12 times, 12 rounds. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. For all of those souls who are leaving the earth at this moment, may they remember their goodness. For all of those souls who are entering the earth at this moment, may they remember their goodness. May the self-criticism of the minds be dissolved, and may the goodness radiate forth. Arahit Om. Hold on to the sweetness of this moment and bring it with you at your pace as you return to the earth. Carry this sweetness through this week. Remember to write yourself the love notes. Remember to do deep tarka, to see and let go of the habits of criticism of the mind. Thou art blessed. You have blessed yourself. You have been blessed by life. With every ounce of your being, do everything at your disposal to gain greater skills, greater insight, greater wisdom, to become an ever greater blessing to all life forms, seeking out your own illumination. Seek out to see the illumined light which thou art. Putting aside your biases, your preferences, your attachments to these things, to see the reality as it is. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste ji. Namaskar. Thank you for the blessings of your presence, for your meditative energy, for our time together. Namaste ji.